So if I say anything during this talk today that changes anybody's life, then this 4-hour flight was absolutely worth it. See, my life changed back in 2015. This is the view that I had looking out from the condo of the inner city that I lived in. See the bars on the back of the doors there? Me, my wife, my son, this is where we lived. We couldn't afford to buy a house in the county that we lived in because it's just way too much money. And this is around the same time that I'm having a lot of thoughts of how the hell did I get here? I mean, I'm working full time. I have no time off. I never see my family. I'm an elementary school teacher and a swim coach. But I have 2 master's degrees in exercise science, curriculum learning and development. I'm a 4-time All-American swimmer. Great, but I'm absolutely broke. I have no plan of how to get us out of here, and I'm scared. So I'm also having this fun thing happen to me around this time where, I don't know if this is ever something you felt, but I would go to work every day and I would feel something wasn't right. Like I shouldn't be here. I'm not meant to be here. I should be over here. I don't know what over here is, but this is where I have to be. Something was pulling me almost to an entrepreneurial kind of journey. Raise your hand if you've ever been in the wrong place and just knew you were in the wrong place. Okay. So, how do I fix that? My dad was a very successful football coach, and I watched a million halftime speeches. Win, lose, didn't matter. We would be going in at halftime. I'd be watching him pull this group together and motivating them to do something. And I knew I had to call a play. No idea what that play was, but a play needed to be called then and there. So I went inside the house and this condo, and in this kind of kitchen, living room area space, is very small, my wife had a show on, maybe you've heard of it, called $1 Million Listing. Raise your hand if you've heard of $1 Million Listing. Yeah, okay. So this is 10 years ago. This is a little bit more the OG version, okay, before they spread everywhere. But this is the New York City one. And I remember watching that show for about 5-10 minutes, just sitting there thinking, oh my God, that's what I gotta do. I watched these guys with no ceiling, with unlimited earning potential, put the world on their back, bet on themselves, and make incredible amounts of money. And I said, that's what I gotta do. I'm gonna sell high-end real estate. So I turned to my wife and I was like, guess what, honey? I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna sell high-end real estate. And she did what any good wife or spouse would do that thinks I'm completely nuts. She just nodded and she said, that's great, honey. That's terrific. Another great idea. But I was serious. This was it. And it was this feeling of exhilaration, like I knew what I wanted to do. But at the same time, I also had this wave hit me of negativity. The other side of the brain. What are you, crazy? You're going to leave a teaching job with this steady income, not much, but steady, with a young child to go pursue this dream of selling high-end real estate. That's not going to happen. By the way, my father was a teacher, my wife's a teacher, my mother's a teacher, my grandfather's a teacher. So there's a little lineage there, family business. How am I going to tell everybody I'm doing this? Nope, not going to happen. Put it to bed. Then, probably one of the most important things in my life happened. That guy right there. My son, Anthony. I was thinking, right as I was about to quit, what 10 years from that day was going to look like. I was going to sit Anthony down. I was going to say, hey, buddy, what do you think you might want to do when you get older? He's going to tell me about all the things he wants to do. And I'm going to say, that's right. Go chase your dreams. Take chances. Do what you feel passionate about. And be completely lying about what it is that I do every day, even though I knew I didn't really want to be doing it. I should be doing something else. What would the conversation be to say, we're not where we could be because Daddy was too afraid to take a chance? Does that hit anybody? Yeah. There was no way I was going to live like that. No. I get emotional now just thinking about that. So I made the decision then and there that he was my anchor, of course, and I had my why for sure. I knew it wasn't going to be easy. It was probably going to be harder than I was willing to pay, or more work than I could imagine, but I was willing to pay it. I was going to be Superman for him. And that was my why. You guys all have pencils? Something to write with? Take your pencils and pen, whatever, and write down a person or your why. Go ahead. Do it. Thing you go to when it gets really hard. You want to quit. You don't want to do this anymore. Write it down. We're going to come back to that. Okay. Now it's time to take the real estate exam. I'm terrible at school, so just for fun, I checked out how it would be to take the test to become a stockbroker. Way harder, so real estate it was, for sure. Definitely real estate. I checked, but it's definitely real estate. So I went to this, the place where you take your real estate exam. And I'm taking the course prior. And I'm in this inner city real estate school. And everybody was there just to get a license. Trust me, this was not fun for them. But I'm front row, pencil in hand, 7 to 10 o'clock at night, jacked up to be there because I'm going to sell mansions. And I remember going to the teacher after the class and saying, "Hi, my name is Mike Ferraro. I'm so excited to get my license so I can sell really expensive mansions. Any advice for me?" And he looked at me and he said, "Do you have any sales skills or sales experience?" I said, "No." He said, "How about real estate experience?" I said, "No." "Do you know anybody that owns a luxury house?" I said, "Nope." He said, "Then why the hell would anybody ever list a luxury home with you?" And he walked away from me. So, for some people, you might be like, Debbie Downer, uh-oh, back to the drawing board. I already had my why. We already talked about that. I'm not going anywhere. This is what I'm doing. But him asking me that question was the most important thing he could have done because it unlocked everything. Why would somebody list their property with me? We heard a lot about that tonight. Qualifying yourself, talking about what you do. I dove in head first. I said, if I can answer that question, I can do anything in this business. I studied everything. Every sales skill. Every negotiation skill, every marketing tactic, social media. I studied from people from California, in Miami, in New York City. I read every book that I could. I mean, I immersed myself. And I learned how to answer that question. What's happened now is a little under 10 years later, I have sold hundreds of millions of dollars of real estate. I have broken luxury sale price records in my town. I am at every baseball game except for tonight. This was the one time for you I just missed my son's game, but that's okay. I FaceTimed with him before. He said, "Go get him, Daddy." And I have been able to go on incredible vacations with my family. I opened up and owned a restaurant, a nightclub. I bought real estate. I own a bank building. Bought a house that I wanted. Sounds great, right? I still have it like everybody else. It's not easy for me, just like you guys. It sounds great. I still am willing to pay that price. But what I'm here to tell you guys is, you can do it too. So let me ask you this question. How many people here, by show of hands, would like to sell luxury homes? Just raise your hand if you'd like to sell them. If you don't, not for you, it's fine. If I ask people, do you want to sell luxury homes? And they say yes. The next question I ask is, why aren't you already doing that? And when I ask that question, it usually falls into one of 3 answers that I get. Mike, I don't know how to find these people. I don't know what to say when I meet them to actually convert them, or what to even say in a listing presentation. And if I got one of those listings, I don't have the first idea as to actually how to sell any of these. So because you don't know how to do it, immediately you get scared and you're like, that's it, I'm okay, go back to comfort, instead of taking a chance and learning. Today, I'm going to try to give you as much as I can to help you guys unlock some of those answers. This is everything that I've learned in my career, all the mistakes and the positive stuff that helped me get to where I am today. Now, we don't have enough time for me to go through all of this stuff. But I think we can spend time looking at the lead gen section, and specifically phone calls, we'll call it prospecting, social media, content creation, and networking, and event brand marketing. Those are going to be really important. We can't call the play if we don't know where we're going. Let's talk mindset. When you start getting into luxury real estate, the two big questions are you demographic or geographic? I decided I was going to be demographic. I was going to sell a type of property to a type of individual and offer a set of skills, certain type of ability to do something. As opposed to geographic, which is I just want to be in this specific area because this is what I feel comfortable with. And making sure you make the distinction is really important. Because, like I mentioned, one of the first questions that I get is, I don't even know how to find people who have luxury homes or are looking for luxury properties. And they're not in my Albuquerque area, so, well, there goes that. Well, we did some digging, and I found out that Santa Fe is about 1 hour away, and they have luxury homes. I live in a town called Monroe, Connecticut. We have luxury homes. But the place I sell $4, $5, $6, $7, $8, $9, $10 million homes, that's in Greenwich, Connecticut, which is about an hour away from me. So because I am demographic driven and not geographic driven, I can go anywhere and offer a skill set to anybody that has what it is that I'm looking for in my demographic, my buyer or seller. That's something you have to decide. You can't be both. Pick one. They're different. Also, mindset of a luxury seller and buyer. This is important. This is something that I've learned over 10 years of working with very high net worth individuals. They think differently. They have made a lot of money. Either they inherited it or they made it, which means they are motivated more by the fear of loss than they are about the opportunity for success. I'll say it again. They're motivated by the fear of loss more than the opportunity of success. So, your really hard work that you say you're going to do, the amazing communication that you're going to give them, even though you have no statistics to back it up, isn't going to fly. They use social proof. What's the one statistic that we use in real estate to call yourself the number one? We use number of homes sold or highest sale volume, right? Well, they do the same thing. So does that mean if you're not number one, you have no shot? That's not what it means. It means there's other ways to do it, which we're going to talk about today. Lead gen, prospecting. This isn't new. That's me 10 years ago. See that? That's the baby monitor when my son Anthony sleeps because I quit my teaching job at this point. I am sitting there, I got 1 hour a day to make phone calls. That's it. That's right. If Anthony let me sleep, if he slept for 45 minutes, great. 1 hour, great. 30 minutes, not so great. Expireds and for sale by owners. I had no money, no marketing budget. There was no mailers going out. I wasn't shooting social media videos. That's pounding the phones for that time is all I had. So I had to be a killer on the phone. My scripts on point, tonality on point, verbal hypnosis on point. This is how I was going to feed my family. And I was good. I was really good. So good that in the first 30 days, somebody on the phone with me said, "You're really good on the phone." I said, "Thank you." He said, "What do you think if I said, I list with you right now over the phone?" I said, "I'd say you're a really smart man." he said, okay, have your assistant send over the papers. He'll sign right now. Do you see an assistant location anywhere here? I was like, I think all my mechanicals are down and my assistant's out of the country. No problem. Come to my house, we're gonna have a barbecue after. No problem. I told my wife, you need to get home and I gotta figure this all out when you get home from teaching, because she was a teacher, 3:30, I gotta figure this out. So I go there, we sign the listing agreement. 6 days later, I bring in the buyer, I double in the deal, that was $2 million deal. Pretty cool. This happened again. Same thing, Miss America sold her house. Now we have a little celebrity cachet here. Really cool. Now, I will say this, as awesome as that sounds, things have changed in my business, and things probably should change in everybody's business. Lawsuits, the do not call lists. I watch so many coaches of real estate still push that. They know who they are when they see this video. Make your prospecting calls. Just do it. Just do it. Just don't worry. Don't tell anybody. Don't do it. I would love to call them every day. I'm not doing that. You do what you got to do. I'm not making the calls like that. So I had to figure out, think about all the success I was having. I got to shift everything now and change my business model. And I did. And we'll talk about what that looks like. You can go to my YouTube. I don't have that many followers or anything. It's fine. No, seriously, they really don't. Which is fine. I don't really need a lot. The point is not to have a lot of followers. The point is what's on the screen. Content, social media content, property tours for me. This is also not something new. A lot of people talk about this. Property tours for me have been huge. Some people like to shoot them with their iPhones. I do it professionally. I have a professional videographer, a professional photographer. The point of this is, this was my opportunity to show my demographic, high-end buyers and sellers, builders, architects, developers who have the top products, how I represent property. It can be the same thing for you. Where this worked for me is an example of a developer who was building a brand new property. I said, I want to show you what I can do. Did a video at the property. He loved the work that we do and the care that we took with that. He said, we need to work together. Another developer who saw my work called me. We're close to locking down a possible $50 million new development deal. From video. It works. This is what I really love right now. This is what I am doing. I am doubling down on event brand marketing. So, a lot of people don't understand this. The first thing I get questioned out on this is, why do you do this? What is the point of this? You're going to have an event where you're going to have all these people come in, and how do you get business from this? Again, I'm demographic. I think differently. I know my client is 1 degree away from who? They have the best builders, architects, interior designers, developer friends, lawyers, doctors. So if I can't go and just immediately talk to my client, matter of fact, I'm just going to give. I'm going to give you an incredible experience. I'm going to promote you. I'm going to be able to fill a room. I'm going to have it on camera. It's going to be done amazing. And you're going to get an opportunity to promote yourself and your business. I don't ask anything from them other than they be treated like $1 million, because in high end, the network and social proof is everything. So if they get treated amazing and then they refer me to their client, it's because they know they're going to get that same type of treatment for their client, and they know they're going to be in good hands. This does bring up a lot of questions. How do you pay for these? Some of these are $5,000, $10,000, $20,000 events, sponsorships. Sponsorships are incredible. Correct brand sponsorships are even better. That's a whole nother slide. It'd take a long time to explain sponsorships in these events and how we actually do it. But the amount of referrals, the business, the network, the social proof that I'm able to create just through this. If you want to see what these look like, go onto my social media. It's all there. Go to my YouTube. I was asked before by that teacher, remember I told you, why would somebody list their property with you? Remember I searched really hard and studied to get that answer? How many people here, well, let's see. Who here wants to take a chance to answering that question? Does anybody here want to try to answer that question? Anyone? Come on. Huh?
I'll work harder than anyone else that you're doing.
What was that?
I'll work harder than anyone else that you're doing.
I'll work harder than anybody else that you can hire. Not even in this state, not even in this country, not even on this planet, this universe, I'll work harder. Thank you. Anybody else? Come on. Come on. When I ask that question, what happens is you qualify yourself every time with what you have, with the hard work you're going to give me, the amazing communication, the dedication. Oh, the dedication. You're all dedicated. You all work hard. You're all going to have great communication. You all want to make money. They know that. The answer to how to answer that question does not come from qualifying yourself. And I had to answer that question multiple times in listing presentations. I'm not going to tell you what that answer is, because now I want to see if you'll actually take action. Let's see. If you scan that QR code with your phones, if you don't care, then don't worry about it. But if you scan the QR code, it's going to take you to a website. It's going to just ask you to put your information in. I'm not selling anything, but I want to see who actually wants to know the answer to that question. Who will reach out? Who will ask for that? If you want any of the slides that we provided today, it'll be available for you. Anything. If there's ever anything I can do for you, I'll be able to help you guys out. Plus, you'll be the latest and be the first to know about stuff we do have coming up, which I'm really, really excited about. As you can tell, I don't know how to get the teaching, coaching, mentorship thing out of me. That's just in me. That's just never going to go away. I've kind of given up on trying to do that. I got to help people. I'm just going to blow up if I don't. That's just how I am. So, let's see who takes action. Look down at your paper. Who did you write? Who was the person that you circled? Right? You have that person. If by me coming out here, flying 4 hours to do this talk, and then I'm leaving to fly another 4 hours back in about 2 hours, helped just change the life of 1 or 2 people here so that you never have to have that conversation of what could have been in your life because you did believe in yourself, because you did take the chance and do something you weren't totally comfortable with. It was all worth it for me. Ladies and gentlemen, Albuquerque, Market Mastery, Henry, thank you so much.